Welcome back to Yes, We're Adopted, Don't Make It Weird. I'm Brett, that's Davo. He's drinking a tea because it's cold outside and delicious.
That sounds like it's delicious outside. It's cold and delicious outside.
Yeah. So today we're going to get a little...
Oh. Because otherwise
you're going to do this?
That's not good. Right.
So today we are going to get a little bit edgy.
Why are we so bad at intros?
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping edgy. We're getting edgy, people. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah! We have come across so much racist. We shall do this whole
racist
talk in the Asian accent of two Koreans who have no prior knowledge of what Korean sounds like.
Literally none.
We have come across a lot of content out there, whether it's through blogs or Facebook or different groups, talking about racism. And specifically, what it means as an adopted person dealing with racism. In our case, it would be, how do we as Asians, or how did we as Asians grow up within a white community? Because we've talked about this in past videos. I was raised by white parents, he was raised by white parents, and we lived in a very white community. Both of us. I had nobody that looked like this. Unless they did this to make fun of me, and then that did happen.
So racially insensitive. You're allowed, I guess.
I'm allowed to be racially insensitive
because
so. I'm Asian.
Ta-da!
Before we get started, what I want you guys to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button right there, hit that bell notification next to it. That's gonna tell you whenever we come out with new adoption content. By the way, it's every Saturday at noon. Just in case, hit that button and you'll be notified. Dave, okay, you can come back over here. Come here, come on. Don't be awkward. Don't be weird. Don't make it weird. Ha! You get it? That's the name of the channel. You get it?
Make it to that. I think the bigger thing that we've noticed a lot more, there's a ton of content out there that's adoptees that are encountering race stuff, but that's every day to me, right? Like that's just a thing that's just a normal part of my life, and so it's really not ultra rant worthy.
It's not.
It just is kind of a thing that occurs, and we're used to it. Like the hypersensitivity toward race issues almost entirely comes from white populations, right? And we can talk all about white privilege and we can do all that. Well, we're not probably going to, but
that sounds boring.
It's a huge thing that we've noticed a lot of adoptive parents, I'm gonna say, are hyper concerned.
Scared.
Yeah, let's go with that. A lot of adoptive parents or potential adoptive parents out there are very scared to raise, what are we calling them? Transracial children?
Kids of color? I don't know.
Right? Asian or African American or Native American or whatever. Any of those things. They're frightened because they're, I don't know, gonna screw up or something along those lines. And what you find is that when one person voices that, it's about, I don't know, literally everybody else in those communities just piles on.
Everybody.
Right? Yeah, you need to, if you're gonna adopt somebody that's of a different race, you should probably change states. You should probably move to...
You should move to Africa if you're going to adopt a black kid.
Or, why are you even here? Go to Korea and be...
Right.
It's
ridiculous.
And that's insane. Can we just say that?
Yeah.
Let's just say that. Guys, that's ridiculous.
It's dumb.
It's insane. Your job as a parent is to love your children.
Yep.
I don't really have anything to add on top of that.
It's funny because my wife and I were talking about this. There's a post in one of the groups that I'm in that specifically brought this up, which is why we're kind of talking about it today. The whole post was this one woman or this one family wanted to adopt this African American kid who's 9 years old, who they've connected with, they love him and he loves them, and it's great. But they're looking for advice from other people. Like, okay, so we don't have a lot of African Americans in our community. What should we do? And so many people, their solution was, well, maybe you shouldn't adopt an African American kid then.
Or move.
Those
are your options.
Uproot your life and go somewhere else. What in the world? Okay, so the point came across where, my wife and I were talking. It's that kid doesn't care. He probably doesn't care. He's in the system right now. He's in foster care, and he wants a family. Yet people are saying, well, maybe you're not ready to adopt him because just because he wants a family doesn't mean it's going to be okay. Which, whatever. But the kid wants a family.
Do you love your children? Because they're yours, right? You adopted the kid. It's not like I'm going to, save this. I mean, we've talked about all the superhero complex and all that kind of stuff.
Like, not saving
if you're doing this for the purpose of that's my kid, right? Then the race stuff, though something to be aware of, is really not your primary concern.
No.
And protecting your children from experience is a concern, but it's not your primary concern. Your primary concern is to raise an adult.
Yep.
Somebody that can look at the world and see it how it is and come to their own conclusions and make decisions appropriately. That's your job.
Yep.
You're raising that person. And it helps to know what's going on out there. We're at this point probably ultra informed about different issues that are happening in the world today. And a lot of them are frightening, right? And they're terrifying or they're scary or they're whatever. But at the same time, we as adults decide how we're going to react to those things. And my parents, bless them, were white and had no idea what it meant to be Asian in a white community,
yep.
Right? Because how would you possibly know that?
You can't.
There's no way to know because you're not, right? I don't know what it's like to be white. Really, 100% white. Like, I get along with white people easier because a lot of the things that we're interpreting as race stuff are actually cultural things,
yep.
Right? And to that degree, like, it's more nerve-wracking to us to be around Koreans.
Oh man, I hate being around like just groupfuls of Asians. It's so unnerving to me because I was not raised in that culture whatsoever. Like, there's a Korean restaurant across the street. That way? That way. There's a Korean restaurant,
well,
maybe
almost.
Opening across the street.
There's maybe a Korean restaurant.
It's been in the works for 2 years now, guys.
We'll
Just
see.
open up. But the Korean woman was very upset at Davo
Oh my gosh.
because he did not speak Korean.
Amazing.
It was great. Like, I think that's funny.
It was funny.
And some other people would just get all up in arms about it. Be like, yeah, well, she doesn't really know, and you don't know Korean, so you're not really Korean. Who cares?
How come? Now, here's how I know a lot of these parents are going to respond to that, right? They would say, you should have been put around other Korean things.
Yeah.
So that culturally you would have been able to enter that situation. Look, we've talked about this before, and I'm going to continue to define us this way. We're not really Korean.
Nope.
And we're not white, right?
No.
We're a mixture of things because of the culture of how we were raised.
Yeah.
We are adopted Asian Americans.
I don't know necessarily because I was 5 months old when I was adopted, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know what it's like, being 10, 12, 13 years old and getting put into a different type of culture. That's a whole separate story, and we probably should talk to some people about that. So if that's your story, let us know in the comments below what your guys' thoughts are about that. But, for us, we were raised in this culture. We grew up in it. Our parents, they didn't try to submerge us in a completely separate culture because that wouldn't have made any sense to us. We would have been so lost and so confused. It's like, okay, which one do I follow? Because I'm Korean, therefore, should I be Korean or should I be this? And so our parents did a great job of making sure that we fit into the culture that we were in. They raised us as such.
Yeah. I'm going to say something that maybe is profound. Maybe.
Do it.
It might not be.
Let's go. Profound moment by Davo.
As adoptees of a different race from our parents, we are already going to have interesting identity issues that need to be worked through. It's not going to be at all helpful for you as our parents to also have additional identity issues trying to figure out how to raise us. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. If you're trying to figure out how to also be Korean and also be white,
It ain't gonna work.
that's just adding more confusion.
We're trying to figure that out.
Your job is to love your kids.
Yeah. To guide them, to push them on the right path, to pick them up when they fall, to dust them off, and to teach them to learn from their mistakes. Teach them to learn from the things that happen to them. Race things are going to come up. No matter where you are, no matter how protected or how sheltered you think that your kids are, race issues will come up. But it's how you respond to that. What are you going to teach your kid during those moments? How are you going to prepare them for the next time that happens?
If you're going to maybe that's it. Maybe if we're going to expose our children to we should be exposing children of all races, of all whatevers,
sure.
to other cultures anyway.
I completely agree with that.
Right? I don't think it should be enough to say that we need to expose transracial adoptees to their culture. We need to expose all children to all cultures.
Everybody.
I'm not saying you have to agree with or love on all of them, but I mean, I'm not going to get into all that stuff right now.
So let us know in the comments. I just want to outro the thing. So you go do the outro.
So those are our thoughts regarding the race issues that we're seeing a lot of right now on the different social medias. I don't know, you probably have different thoughts or the same thought. You probably have your own thoughts, and we'd love to hear about those and discuss them with you and really open up that dialogue. So if you do have some thoughts, we'd love to see them. Please leave those in the comments below. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share, involve your friends or other people that you know that are into this whole adoption thing in the conversation, and we love to keep talking about it. So that's our take, and that's our window. I don't really have anything else to say. I ran out of tea.
That's depressing, I'm sorry.
I can just go get more.
Yeah. Don't make it weird.
I'm gonna go get some tea.
You just like walked off so slow. That was so awkward. You're just like,